Hey guys, how you doing? Today we're going to do a review of some Crossman rifles, Crossman pistol, pellets, both pellets, both Gammo and Crossman. Um, and I don't have any BBs to prepare, of course, but if you use BBs like I do with the SNR 357 there, um, the reason I've only got the black diamonds is because I haven't bought any other BBs since I've used black diamonds. They tend to be the best BB out there. Anyhow, let's get this started. This is a Crossman F4 177. This is a Crossman Shockwave 22. This is a Crossman SNR 357. Okay, first let's go over to 357. It's a nice pistol. It's heavy, about the weight of a real pistol. CO2 hides way in here really well. You can't, the adjustment screw to tighten down the CO2 is hidden inside the grip when it's in there. It's not like the older Crossman air pistols that had the little plastic cylinder. It's got a real cylinder, and it has cartridges with an ejector, as you can see, just like a real 357. So there's two different kinds of cartridges for them. There's this guy, right, and there's this guy, and you can see the little difference. One is all metal, one's metal with a copperish rubber toned tip. The ones with the rubber toned tip, as you can see, there's one of those black diamond BBs in it. You just stick the BB in the tip, load the pistol. With the lead pellets, or PBA pellets, whichever you use, you stick the pellet in the back of the pellet cartridge, and then you just load it up like you would any revolver. Close them up, and it's dual action. You can either just squeeze the trigger or cock. Cocking's better. Downfall to this pistol: it's got a 3-inch barrel, and it is smooth bore, so it is not very accurate at all. And because it uses CO2, you got to put CO2 cartridges in it. Now, here's what's went wrong with this CO2 gun. See that green seal in there? I get somebody for a while, and they put CO2 in it, and when you tighten the CO2 cartridges down, you're supposed to hold the CO2 with your thumb. That's to keep it from spinning as you're tightening down this screw with that base that goes against the CO2 cartridge down there at the bottom. When that spins in, it twists the cartridge, and in turn it twists that seal. So this thing will no longer seal, and it will let all the CO2 leak out within a matter of seconds. So I might get a new seal for that. If you get one of these, yours starts to do that, use some Teflon tape and just wrap Teflon tape around the CO2 cartridges. Here is a CO2 cartridge in just long ways. Just wrap your tape, wrap it a couple, 3, 4 times, and put it in, and then make sure you hold your cartridge, and it should seal, and that'll get you by for a while. As far as the F4 goes, everybody complains, says they're not accurate. There's all kinds of flyers. I've had this one for quite a while now. The bluings went bad on it, and it's been spray painted since then. It's got the big plastic fake muzzle brake gone off it because, well, I mean, it didn't weigh much, but it was just added weight out into my barrel for nothing. It's the same thing as the Crossman Fire. They just call it F4. It's a Walmart exclusive, and because I painted it, I can't show it to you anymore, but on this side of it, right up in there under the scope, it would have said Crossman F4, sort of like The Shockwave says Shockwave right there, Crosman Shockwave. The F4 is rated for 1,200 feet per second with alloy pellets and 1,000 feet per second with lead. The Shockwave is rated for 950 feet per second with alloy 22 caliber pellets and I believe 800 with lead. These are the pellets I've used for us so far. We've got Gamma Platinums, Gamma Rockets, Gamma Armor, Gamma Raptor, and Gamma Redfire. I've also used Crosman Piranha with it. I'm almost out of those. For 177, I use Crosman Copper Magnums. I don't like these. I will not use these again. I tried these, was my first time. This is Crosman Gold Flight. I will not use those again. I like the Crosman Destroyers and the good old Crosman Hollow Points. These are nice and cheap. 7.9 grain, 7.4 grain. They're pretty accurate, flat trajectory. Everything you'd want a lead pellet to be. The magnesium, copper magnesium, they're going to go a little slower. And people consider these alloy because it's non-lead. But you are not going to get 1,200 feet per second out of these rifles with this. You may get it out of this. You will not with this. No, you're not going to get it out of this neither because that's 8.5 grain. They're too heavy. And that's why. See, with the lead, 7.4. I don't know why they made these non-lead so heavy. Because the whole idea was to go faster. Well, these are 8.5 grain. And the reason I don't like these, the sizes of them are very inconsistent. So you'll stick one in that fits the barrel real tight, hard to get in like you want it to be, so that it seals against the rifling well. And don't let too much of the air pressure leak around it on its way down the barrel. Leaves you more pressure pushing it. And then others fit so loose that if you ain't careful when you close your barrel, they'll fall back out of there and you'll end up dry firing thinking you have a pellet in the barrel that you do not. These guys are pretty consistent. They are copper coated. The copper is softer than the steel your barrel's made out of, so it will not hurt your barrel. It will not just tear up your rifling. And of course everybody knows the hollow points. Most people use the Premier hollow points in their air rifles. The Destroyers I like better than the hollow points. They mushroom out a whole lot better than this so-called hollow point does. As far as the Gamma pellets go, over here in the 22 cal, my favorite out of these pellets are probably going to be the Red Fire. They're heavier, so they hit harder, makes them move slower, but when they hit, they hit. The armors are decent, but because they are a PBA, they fly faster. They are a 10.6 grain. They've got a BB in the tip. They're basically same thing as the rocket, or the rocket is lead and the armor is not. Excuse my dogs back there. Shut up! Shut up! The Raptors, I don't know what the Raptors are. I would want to say they're probably a magnesium because they're non-lead. They are coated with real gold. Matter of fact, look here. Real gold. These pellets come in at 9.2 grain. No. They are 8.6 grain. Yeah. 8.6 grain, 9.7 for the platinums, and then 10.5 for the armors. The rockets are great pellets. You can rely on that pellet, okay? Same with the 15.4 grain red fire. I like the red fire over the rocket because the red fire is a little heavier, means going to hit with a little bit more energy. The piranhas, I'm almost out of them. I won't buy more of those because the piranhas for some reason just tend to, I don't know, they don't stay as accurate. This is my tin where I collect some of my pellets, and this was a red fire. It just don't have the tip in it anymore. And if you want to get 22 caliber type impact out of a 177, there's the mushroom of a 22 versus the lead 22, which was one of the red fires right there. This was one of the copper magnesiums, and as you can see, that copper magnesium will mushroom out about the same diameter as that lead red fire. So you're gonna hit really hard with this guy. That's a nice pellet. Here's the Raptors. This is how the Raptors turn out. That's the gold coated Gamo, and most of them don't mushroom out so well. Here's another Raptor. So good for penetration, not good for stopping. Let's see. I have one. Nope, that ain't it. I did have one pellet in here that actually retained its BB that they had put in them from one of the rockets. There it is. That's a 22 cal rocket. And it didn't mushroom out, it collapsed. It's just, it went from that to that. Yeah. Here's some of the coppers coated that I did not hit a really hard object with. It was a softer wood. I dug that one back out. Not mushroom very well. Tip deformed pretty decently on that one. Find one of the platinums here. This is the platinum, 9.7 grain platinum. Those stay looking after going through 55-gallon drums almost like before you even fired it. Some people might attempt to stick that back in their gun and shoot it again. I would not recommend doing that. I couldn't really get none of the... There's one with a BB still in it there too. I couldn't really get none of my lead pellets back very well. This was one of the rockets that the BB came out of. Yeah. There's one I'm looking for. There's a second one. These are what come out of the gold flights. These are the heads out of them guys. They're very hard. And they're not coated with anything. So I'd actually want to say these probably ain't too good for your barrel riflings when they do fit tight. They don't deform, not one bit. If the gold casing happens to still be there These you can actually literally pick up and shoot again, because the tips are so hard they don't deform, and you can just reuse them. I don't so much like them at all, but what I may try with these is I may take some, may give me some hollow point 22s and then use these 177 gold flight tips in them and try to make my own hybrid round. So trying to get this camera closed. I'm trying to record this for y'all and do all this with one hand. So, in short, these are going to be my go-to for 177 from now on. These are going to be my go-to for 22. These other things, those are just for fun. I wouldn't hunt nothing with this, or this. I wouldn't try to hunt nothing with the piranha. I don't know why I don't want to be very accurate. These are going to be my go-to from now on. For hunting, if I'm hunting rabbit with the 177. I really recommend hunting rabbit with 2.2. But if you're good with your rifle, you can get your shot placement right, you got a nice hard hitting pellet like this, you'll knock them rabbits right down. Other than that, for most of my squirrel hunting and stuff, it's usually these destroyers. I use these for target for the most part. They're cheap. They don't mushroom out very well. I would never ever hunt anything with a CO. Look guys, I saw a guy on YouTube the other day. He went to Walmart, he bought a $49 all plastic rifle and a CO2 powered revolver. He shot a rabbit with the $49 rifle and a squirrel with the CO2 pistol. Guys, don't do that. This does not have the power it needs. And there's no telling how many squirrels he had shot, injured, that ran off before he got the one that he showed in his video. There's no telling how many times he had shot rabbit out there with that plastic rifle that it's marked for 900 feet per second. Okay, that 177 caliber 900 feet per second, it's a multi-pump. It was not going to produce its 950 at all under no circumstances. And all he was doing was injuring rabbits. So, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're not adult break barrel hunting air rifles, don't hunt with them. Unless you're in a shit hit the fan scenario and you're starving and you just absolutely got to try anything you can to get food. Okay. As far as noise, are these guns backyard friendly? This is as loud as one of the rifles. CO2 makes a decent pop when you fire them. And in my opinion, they're a little loud compared to what power you get out of them. It's not all that good. As far as the air rifles go, the F4 is pretty loud. The Shockwave is loud behind the rifle, but it's not ahead. And it's not ahead because this shrouded barrel, see in there? It's got a steel barrel inside that shroud. The barrel's actually got baffles. There's actually baffles in that. So ahead of you, that's pretty quiet. So if you got your back to your house and shooting out into the yard, anybody out front of your target ain't really going to hear a whole lot. This thing here sounds off pretty good. What did I like about the Shockwave over the F4? The addition of iron sights. Now this is just a plastic blade affixed to the barrel. This will never move. There was some they had that the sights up here would move the way they were attached to the barrels. This is molded in one piece. It'll never move unless you bend it or break it. They are all black from the store. I put a white line on it with white fingernail polish so that I could see it better. What I do not like about these iron sights, and I think Crossman could have did better, this is plastic. And I believe this rear sight all should have been metal. Guns are accurate, scopes are not. Okay, this is a center point. It's not no better than, it's a newer center point than this center point. You can look at them and tell you see the difference in them. I'm not expecting this center point to hold up any better, and it already seems like after 50-60 shots the objective gets off. Just like this center point did, just like this Ruger's doing. If y'all buy these rifles and you want a really accurate air gun with decent power, I'd say go to Walmart, buy this. This one was $99 when we bought it. This one was $150. I think this one was $68. Buy these lower priced from Walmart, and then just get you a good scope, and you'll have you a great gun. So I know the video's gotten sort of long. Well, no, actually it's only 21 seconds. What? 21 seconds? That's all I've been talking about this? That's not bad. I don't know, did I mention the BBs? If I didn't mention the BBs, the only reason I've only got these ones to show is because Black Diamond I have found are the only BBs I like. So I stick with them. As you notice, there's no Daisy pellets here. If you're going to get cheap pellets, get Crossman and try Premier. Non-Premier, Premier. Decent pellet, but will have flyers here and there. Really good pellet that will stay about on target. Inconsistencies on muzzle fit muzzle consistently, fits muzzle consistently, inconsistent muzzle fit, inconsistent muzzle fit, consistent muzzle fit, consistent muzzle fit, consistent muzzle fit, and these are consistent. My gun just don't seem to like these two too much. I shoot these a lot. I have been shooting these a lot. Well, I can't lie. These have actually been staying sort of on target lately. It may be because I finally got that gun broke in, fired enough rounds to break that gun in, and well, now it's just on target. But anyhow, yeah, that's my little collection, other than the Daisy that right now is out in the shop. It's my plinker when I'm really bored gun. Until then, yeah, this is very good guns. Like I said, I wouldn't have any complaints about this as a little plink play toy, or even with pellets in it, carrying it for snakes if you're fishing or something. You have snakes in your yard. This make a good snake gun with the pellets in it. This will make a good ratter with the pellets in it. But you have to be pretty close to hit with that because of the 3-inch smooth bore barrel. Well, folks, it's my honest opinion on these various pellets and these various rifles and pistols. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace.